Hey everybody, this is Pastor Steve. I wanted to provide you all, Water's Edge Church, with an important update regarding the new information that's come out and the regathering of our church. As many of you know, we have now entered into phase 1 of the reopening guidelines issued by our state. Phase 1 does permit churches to gather again, and so one of the questions that we're certainly hearing and certainly discussing as the elders of the church is, when are we going to physically start gathering again? And so in order to get as much input as we can, we have issued a survey. It's going to be linked to this video, and we would love for you to fill out that survey. We really want to kind of get a gauge for where our people are, and specifically your level of comfortability. We know we have some high-risk persons. We know that we have a lot of military folks who have unique considerations given their employment. And so we would love for you to fill out that survey linked below, and that survey is going to be targeting a deadline of Thursday. So please do that by Thursday night. And so the elders are certainly discussing, praying. We're currently targeting phase 2 for a regathering of our church, which could be soon. It's just around the corner. Once we entered phase 1, the governor said that would last 2 to 4 weeks. And so you're looking at May 31st into the first couple of weeks of June. We certainly want to be prayerful, mindful, and make that decision with wisdom. Some of the guiding principles that we have discussed behind this decision for our elders has been, number 1, we want to honor the Lord. You know, we always say that we want to be a church that is most passionate about what's most important. We know God's desire is for His church to assemble, to worship Him, and to faithfully proclaim the gospel, to be about the work of making disciples. And so we are excited to get back together again, but there are also some other factors into how we honor God, and that is obedience to the truth that God has revealed to us. You see, in God's Word, He has instructed us to submit to governing authorities. This comes from Romans 13. It says, "Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God." So while God instituted the church to oversee our spirituality, He instituted governments to oversee our citizenship and our nations. And so one of the things that we're committed to as a guiding principle is to follow the guidelines and adhere to the best of our ability to what has been put out by our state. And we believe that phase 1 is pretty restrictive, and it would be a challenge for us to practice safe social distancing given that. And plus, we didn't want to jump right into it. We know that there's a lot of diversity of thought out there. There may be some of you who are thinking we're moving way too slow and we should already be meeting. And there are others of you that think maybe we're moving way too fast, and we just want to be mindful and sensitive to the diversity of thought on this issue. And even amongst ourselves, amongst our elders, we've had some spirited discussion about how to best do this. And so we've submitted ourselves to these principles to honor God, to be submissive to the government in appropriate ways, and we believe this is an appropriate way to submit to our government. Thirdly, we want to give strong consideration to caring well for our people. You know, God has appointed elders to be under-shepherds of His church. And we're admonished in the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 28, to care for the church of God, the church in which He has made us overseers, which means we need to be not only concerned about your spiritual care, but your physical well-being. So that certainly is a guideline for us, that we want to make decisions that are in the best interests of the spiritual health and the physical health of our people at Water's Edge Church. And then lastly, the 4th guiding principle would be, we want to give consideration to our public witness. There are churches that have chosen to meet, despite guidelines not to meet. And we don't think that has necessarily represented a great witness to the public around them. There's been a lot of public outrage at churches that have chosen to do that, and this is not to knock them or anything like that. But we want to be mindful of, our influence in this community and in the region and in the world as God would allow. So we want to submit ourselves to those guidelines and helping us make some difficult decisions. So church, I hope that you are well aware that we are conscious of our responsibility. We are excited to meet again as soon as that is. We know it's coming. Phase 2 could, again, be just in a couple of weeks, or it could be 2 to 4 weeks is what was given. So I encourage you strongly to fill out that survey and to provide us with good feedback. Be in prayer for our leadership. Be in prayer for the elders as we make these decisions. We're excited to get back together and are certainly prayerful about this decision. Thank you so much. God bless you, and have a great day.
Wait, don't leave just yet. We want to make sure that you enjoyed your time with us. So if you did, make sure you give us a thumbs up. And when you can, hit that subscribe button and click that bell. That way you know when we release new material. Thanks for joining us, and God bless.